WGXA first interviewed McDaniel the day after Lauren Giddings was reported missing in June of 2011. Reporter Michelle Casada found him standing outside the apartment building where he and Giddings had lived, and that we now know was the scene of the crime. He talks about joining Giddings' friends to look for his law school classmate and how they entered her apartment to see if there was anything wrong.
This is Stephen McDaniel at the center of one of the strangest police interrogations ever recorded. But even more unsettling was his earlier interview with the news, which immediately raised suspicions.
I was living there?
Yeah, Lauren was my neighbor. We're just trying to find out where she is at this point. I mean, no one has seen her since Saturday.
He was brought into the interrogation room as part of a murder investigation that had shaken an entire community. The victim was Lauren Giddings, a bright and ambitious law student who also happened to be Stephen's neighbor and classmate. What made this case particularly disturbing was not just the murder itself, but the gruesome nature of the crime. Lauren had been dismembered, and her body parts were found in a trash bin near their apartment building. From the start, the police had their eyes on McDaniel. He wasn't just a neighbor. He was someone who knew Lauren personally. The initial focus of the investigation expanded quickly once McDaniel's behavior and certain discoveries at his residence began raising serious red flags.
Went inside and tried to see if there was anything amiss, but I mean, she had a door jamb that was sitting right by it, so there was no sign that anyone broke in. I mean, the door was locked when everyone got here. I mean, we just don't know where she is.
What about in the parking lot area? I know they've been doing a lot of, I think that's where they have recovered the body or whatever they recovered from there.
Body?
Had you seen anything there? Had you seen anything there? I mean, we don't know if this is the same person. You know what I mean? Like, they took out a body there earlier. We don't know if it's the same person or not. So that's why we're trying to ask people if they know who lived there. Are you okay, sir?
I think I need to sit down.
Okay.
The goal of the interrogation was clear. The detectives needed to determine if Stephen was involved in Lauren's death, and if so, to get him to talk. At first glance, McDaniel seemed like someone who understood the rules of the game. As a law student, he appeared to be trying to outsmart the detectives using technical knowledge. He dodged questions, gave minimal responses, and tried to avoid self-incrimination. But rather than convincing anyone of his innocence, this legal posturing only made things worse. The detectives noticed how he clung to one-word answers, avoided elaboration, and displayed rigid, mechanical body language. This behavior stood in stark contrast to the way Stephen had acted during his first interview, which was conducted outside his apartment shortly after Lauren's body was discovered. At that time, he appeared composed, even slightly smug. Now, under the bright lights of the interrogation room, that facade was beginning to crack. Detectives immediately took note of this shift. It was the first real sign that Stephen might be hiding something far more sinister.
You know Detective Patterson, right?
Yes.
Do you remember? Put your hands up here. You remember us talking earlier today? Right?
Yes.
You remember me earlier in the day?
Yes.
When we came down here and talked a little bit and then we left?
Yes.
Okay. I need to know about this girl right here. You know her?
Yes.
Who is that?
Lauren Giddings.
Does she live next door to you?
Yes.
When's the last time you seen her?
2 or 3 weeks ago.
Okay. Was you friends with Lauren?
Yes.
Look at me when you talk to me, son. Okay? Was you friends with her?
Yes.
Close friends?
We were good.
I mean, y'all were friends, right? Both of y'all are law students. You're studying to be an attorney, right?
Yes.
What kind of law do you want to go into? Criminal law?
Yes.
Civil? Is that what you want to do for a living?
Yes.
All right. Are you going to stay here in Macon?
I don't know.
Did you used to work at the district attorney's office in Macon?
Yes.
Was you on the prosecutor side or the defense side?
Prosecutor.
So you were on our side. And you lived next to Lauren for a long time?
Yes.
Okay. Do you know where she's at tonight?
No. No.
Have you ever seen her with that dress on?
No.
What do you think happened to her?
I don't know.
Do you even care that no one can find her?
Yes.
I mean, I don't know, do you?
Yes.
As the session continued, investigators began digging into Stephen's personal life. They asked about his relationship with Lauren, probing for details about how often they interacted and what kind of dynamic existed between them. They also brought up his past internship at the district attorney's office, curious about whether he had picked up knowledge that could help him conceal a crime. Despite these pressure points, Stephen stayed evasive. His tone was flat. His answers lacked any human emotion. No sadness, no anger, no confusion. Even when faced with sensitive questions about Lauren's life or death, he seemed to withdraw deeper into himself, offering only cold, mechanical replies.
You said you didn't have any other cars, right?
Right.
Well, why would everybody you went to school with for the last 3 and 4 years said that you own another car other than that Geo Prism? Everybody I've talked to, all your friends you were in school with, people that you worked at the district attorney's office with said you have other cars other than that car. And you're gonna sit here today and tell me you don't have another car?
I don't.
Well, where's it at?
I don't have one.
You never had another car besides that Geo Prism?
No.
So if I call your granddaddy, he's gonna tell me that you only have one car?
Yes.
What's his phone number?
I don't know.
Yeah, you do, because I already have his number. You don't know his phone number?
No.
I mean, you seriously can't help us out?
His number is in my cell phone.
That's a start. Where's your cell phone?
At the apartment.
In your apartment? That was like a mask. It was cut out like a mask. You cut underwear out to look like a mask?
No.
What do you think happened to her?
I think someone took her.
Then came the inconsistencies. When asked whether he owned another vehicle, Stephen denied it. But witnesses had already told police they'd seen him driving a second car. The detectives weren't just trying to catch him in a lie. They were building a profile. Someone who hides small details is likely hiding bigger ones. That suspicion grew stronger when officers questioned him about certain strange items found in his apartment, specifically a pair of women's underwear and a mask-like object. Stephen claimed he had no knowledge of them.
Well, you know there was a body found in the trash can next to the apartments.
Yes.
You do know that. And it's a female, white female's body. Right there. Right next to y'all's apartment. Feet from her apartment. We don't know 100% sure it's Lauren, but we're pretty confident it is. I mean, who would do something to somebody and throw them in a trash can?
I don't know.
I'm asking for your advice or your observation. Who in your complex would do something like that? You lived over there for 3 years. Tonight's the first night I think I've ever been over there. In your expert opinion, of all your knowledge of going through law school and all that, who in that complex do I need to talk to?
I don't know.
Later in the session, the conversation took a darker turn. Detectives informed Stephen that a body had been found near the apartment complex. Though they didn't immediately say it was Lauren, the implication was obvious. Most people would have some kind of reaction: shock, grief, confusion. But Stephen gave nothing. He repeated his earlier statement that he thought someone had taken Lauren and refused to say anything more. That lack of emotion, especially considering the horror of the situation, was deeply troubling to the investigators.
Don't know. Is that what you want me to tell them? Because you're all over the news. You sure stood out there and ran your mouth to the news media, but now you're going to get out here and you don't know. You know.
Why would you not be honest with me?
I am being honest.
Stephen, it just doesn't feel like it, buddy. You know, I get the sense that there's something weighing heavy on your heart right now. And it's breaking you down. And you feel bad about it. I can tell you haven't slept much, have you, in the last few days, have you?
No.
Like something's weighing on your mind, ain't it?
We were looking for Lauren.
You started looking for Lauren yesterday.
Yes.
But you haven't slept in several days, have you?
Yes.
You have?
Yes.
Earlier when I talked to you, you said you hadn't slept in days, that this morning was the first time you was able to get any sleep, was this morning, for a little bit.
No.
Yes, that's what you said. That's what you told me. So I asked you, well, if you haven't been able to sleep in several days, what have you been doing, studying? And you said, yeah, studying. You don't remember that?
No.
Know something, because I need to know. Because her family's down here want to know what happened to her.
I don't know.
You don't know.
No.
That's what you want me to tell her mother and her father, is that you don't know.
I don't know.
Not that you're sorry that she's missing. Not that you've been trying to help me all day find her, but you just wanted me to tell her I don't know.
I don't know.
Are you
where
a
she
sorry
is.
piece of shit that you want me to tell her that? You got your ass on that fucking news and stood out there and gave a media report that her mother saw about her missing daughter. And you want me to sit there and tell them that you don't know? Is that what you want me to tell them? Because you're all over the news. You sure stood out there and ran your mouth to the news media. But now you're going to get out here and you don't fucking know. You know. You're just a sorry piece of shit that don't give a fuck. Right?
No.
Well, why'd you tell the media everything? Do you need to see what you told the media today?
They
It was on the
asked.
11 o'clock news. Well, I'm asking you. Tell me. I want to know.
I don't know where she is.
That ain't what you told the media. You didn't stand in front of that camera and say, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Right? You buy all these weapons. Was you ever in the military?
No.
What do you need all these weapons for? Are you scared somebody's gonna hurt you?
No.
What do you need all these weapons for?
To have.
Why? There's a reason why. Were you molested as a child?
No.
Then why do you need all these weapons?
To have.
Why? Give me one good reason. Just give me one reason.
To have.
Why? Does it make you feel important?
No.
Are you a big guy because you got a weapon?
No.
Do you even know how to use it?
Yes.
I need you to tell me what you want me to tell her mother. And then I won't ask you another thing. I'm not going to tell her mother that you don't know, because her mother saw you on the news tonight and she cried all the way down to Macon because you had the balls to get on the news and tell everybody everything. You didn't have no problem talking to the news when they asked you questions. I'm asking you questions. Where's Lauren?
I don't know.
Yes, you do know. You do know. You do know. You know. You know. You do know.
In a last-ditch effort to break through McDaniel's icy exterior, the detectives brought up Lauren's mother. They asked how he would explain the situation to a grieving parent. They reminded him that the entire community was watching and hoping for answers. Still, Stephen showed no signs of guilt or empathy. His lack of emotion had now turned into a wall. Eventually, the detectives brought in David Whitmere, a friend of Stephen's, to talk about his personality. David painted a picture of someone isolated and introverted, a loner. While being a loner isn't a crime, it fit with the psychological profile the detectives were forming. Stephen wasn't just someone who kept to himself. He was someone who might have been detached enough from others to commit a horrific act without remorse.
Now, why are you acting like this? I need to know. Why all of a sudden you're acting like this?
I don't understand.
Okay. Earlier today, we sat here and talked. But now you're acting like you don't know what's going on. I mean, did something happen or something to you? I mean, why are you shutting down? Why are you not talking to me?
I don't know.
You don't know? Are you scared?
No.
I mean, you're not scared, are you?
No.
Why are you lying, Stephen?
I'm not lying.
Yes, you are lying. How long are you going to continue to do it? She's got a mother and a father and a family out there that is sick over everything. Where's that little girl, Stephen?
I don't know.
Stephen, you know. Where?
I don't know.
Stephen. You're going to look at this right here, this little girl right here, and you're going to say you don't know? I know you know.
I don't know.
Yes, you know. What are you going to say tomorrow when I say we got your hair with the body? What are you going to say to me then? Because you know, like I go like that. Look at my hair. That's how easy it falls out. Look at all that on your head. You don't think none fell out? It did. It did, Stephen. We just wanted to give you an opportunity to tell it, so you didn't look like a monster at the end. Because you know what? I don't believe that you're a monster, Stephen. I believe that you're a good guy. You've been picked on. Girls didn't show you the respect that you deserved. You did something stupid. And I believe you feel bad about it. And that's why you're all freaked out right now. But I'm giving you the opportunity to get right. I'm giving you an opportunity to show everybody you're not a monster, that you feel bad about what happened. Your hair is there, man. Your hair is there. We got your hair with the body. How's that, Stephen?
I don't know.
Yes, you do know.
Even as the questioning continued for hours, Stephen stuck to his denials. He offered no new information. His strategy seemed to be simple. Say as little as possible and hope it all blows over.
I need to know. Why all of a sudden you're acting like this?
I don't understand.
Okay. Earlier today we sat here and talked. But now you're acting like you don't know what's going on. I mean, did something happen or something to you? I mean, why are you shutting down? Why are you not talking to me?
I don't know.
You don't know? Are you scared?
No.
I mean, you're not scared, are you?
No.
Since Stephen's shift in behavior has been so abrupt, the police decide to speak to one of his friends, David Whitmire, to get a better understanding of who Stephen is. David lived across the street from the apartment complex where Lauren and Stephen lived, and also attended the same classes, so he knows them both.
Did you know this Lauren's next door neighbor, Stephen McDaniel?
Very well.
Notice again how David Whitmire's body is angled toward the detective, just like Lauren's boyfriend, David Van Diver, was, which is noticeably different than how Stephen has been sitting.
You know, Stephen could stay in there a long time and not come back out. And so I would like...
Just stay in his house, his apartment for days?
Yeah. And I would say, you know, and I don't know, like adopting a puppy or something, I'd say, Stephen, and and I also didn't always want to eat alone, so I'd say, let's go down to Five Guys.
All this information does is tell investigators that Stephen was likely a loner and possibly a recluse. This is important information for detectives because oftentimes individuals who commit these horrific murders are socially isolated. It also means that he was probably home at the time that Lauren was attacked. According to her friends, because Stephen was a bit of an outsider, Lauren went out of her way to be nice to him, even though she apparently found him a bit strange. Since none of his tactics are working so far, the detective tries something new, attempting to be more aggressive in the hopes this will get Stephen to say something besides "I don't know." He brings up Lauren's mother and asks what he should tell her about her daughter's disappearance.
And you want me to sit there and tell him that you don't know? Is that what you want me to tell him? Because you're all over the news. You sure stood out there and ran your mouth to the news media. But now you're going to get out here and you don't know. You know. You're just a sorry piece of shit.
By shifting to a more aggressive stance, it's apparent that the Reed method is not working. This also signifies that the investigator has lost control of the interrogation. The detective is likely taking his frustrations about the case out on Stephen, rather than stopping to think about what would be the best approach to get him to talk. He may be trying to rile Stephen up and make him upset enough to admit something in anger. However, name-calling is never a good tactic to get a suspect to open up. This is an example of how sometimes individual law enforcement officers may stray away from standard interrogation protocols, such as the Reed technique. In fact, the Reed technique teaches that the interviewer should remain a neutral and objective fact-finder, which clearly isn't the case here. The desperation on the part of the detective could also backfire, because it may show Stephen that his act is working, and the investigators are getting desperate. For half an hour, the first detective struggles to get any response from Stephen, so another officer enters the room to change up the dynamic.
Why would you not be honest with me?
I am being honest.
Stephen, it just doesn't feel like it, buddy. You know, I get the sense that there's something weighing heavy on your heart right now, and it's breaking you down, and you feel bad about it. I can tell you haven't slept much, have you, in the last few days, have you?
No.
Like something's weighing on your mind, ain't it?
We were looking for Lauren.
You started looking for Lauren yesterday.
Yes.
But you haven't slept in several days, have you?
Yes.
You have?
Yes.
Earlier when I talked to you, you said you hadn't slept in days, that this morning was the first time you was able to get any sleep, was this morning, for a little bit.
No.
Yes, that's what you said. That's what you told me. So I asked you, well, if you haven't been able to sleep in several days, what have you been doing, studying? And you said, yeah, studying. You don't remember that?
No.
By pointing out Stephen's inconsistent statements, the detective is trying to shake his confidence and make him doubt himself. If Stephen feels like he's making a lot of mistakes, that will likely increase his stress, which in turn could cause him to make more mistakes.
What I want you to do, and I'm going to ask you this question, I want you to describe to me how you feel right now. You don't know how to answer that with a yes or no, do you?
I don't know what's going on.
The investigator is once again trying to build rapport through empathy, marking a return to classic interrogation techniques. As well, the switch to open-ended questions suggests that this investigator is perhaps more experienced or more effective than the other.
Lauren's missing. This pretty little girl right here, your neighbor, she's missing.
I know.
You went looking for her last night.
Yes.
Did you hurt Lauren?
No.
Stephen, did you hurt Lauren?
No.
When is the last time you've seen Lauren alive?
I can't recall.
I mean, if that's Lauren's, we haven't positively identified it.
But like, is graduation, because you know, once it was all over with, you know, then we didn't like.
And that was in May 2014. So you hadn't seen her like around the apartment complex, coming and going, or anything like that?
No, but I would, from time to time, I would ask. You know, I'd notice her car was either gone or in a different parking place.
This is an example of how deception indicators should not be relied on by themselves and should only be interpreted in the context of the situation. David answers, "I can't recall." This could be considered a selective memory statement, which can be a tell for deception. However, when you look closer at the situation, you see that David had a legitimate reason for not knowing when he last saw her. They were not close friends and didn't really keep in touch after graduation. It's only a red flag for deception if the person being questioned doesn't have a reasonable explanation not to remember.
Actually, I kept up with them a lot because I had to always walk I had to look at everybody's car and everybody's apartment as I walked to class. So I kept up too. But I would ask him, what's Lauren doing? And, generally it were nondescript responses about, well, I think she went out of town, or I think this.
Did Stephen ever tell you, what his relationship was with Lauren? He never said that, referred to her as his girlfriend or anything. He just, that's his neighbor and a classmate? Or?
Yeah, that was it. I didn't presume anything. And Lauren had a long-term steady boyfriend.
You have another vehicle.
No, I don't.
So your grandfather's a liar. Is that what you're saying? You're calling your grandfather a liar. I just talked to him, and he said you own another car.
I don't.
Stephen, we're telling way too many lies in here.
So you're telling me they're lying?
You're willing to tell me that you're a virgin and that you told me you jack off the porn on the internet, but you don't want to admit to having another car? That makes me think you got something to hide, Stephen. That concerns me. You tell me things that most people wouldn't tell somebody else, but yet you lie about something simple.
Why are you trying to hide that you have another car? What's the big deal?
I don't have.
I got 3 cars.
You do. You do.
No, I don't.
It's not at your house.
What happened to it?
I've never had another car.
That's the only car you ever had in Macon?
Yes.
Okay, let me go talk to him again, because that's not what he's saying.
The footage would turn out not to be the linchpin needed to solve this case, as it doesn't actually capture any evidence used to narrow down Lauren's killer. Instead, it's the killer's own oversights which will catch them up in the end.
Stephen, what happened to Lauren?
I don't know.
You like her, don't you?
She's my friend.
Did you ever think about having sex with her?
No.
You never tried to talk to her on a dating level?
No.
Let me go talk. They got his grandfather. Let me go talk, make sure that he owns another car, because he's telling us he doesn't. Be right back.
So you telling me, see that pretty girl right there?
Yes.
You telling me you looked at a pretty girl like that and you never once thought, ever, man, she looks good. You never thought that?
I don't understand.
But his behavior spoke volumes. His calm, calculated demeanor gave detectives the impression that he was more than just guarded. He was rehearsed. As someone studying criminal law, he knew exactly how police interrogations worked. He understood what kinds of questions were traps and how silence could be used to his advantage. What the detectives saw was someone who wasn't cooperating because he knew he was guilty and was hoping to slip through the cracks by playing smart.
No problem. So you can just snap out of it and tell me what the hell happened, so we can move on.
I don't know.
Well, how many times you gonna say I don't know? How many times you gonna say it? When are you gonna say I remember, but I don't want to remember what happened to her? How many times you gonna say that? If you did something that you regret, you need to let me know.
I didn't.
Well, who did?
I don't know.
Well, a body was found over here, right next to where you live. And what do you have in your apartments? A lot of knives. A lot of guns. Right?
Yes.
And I'm asking you about it, and you're just saying I don't know. That's all. That's the only answer you can give is I don't know. It's 6 hours or a couple hours ago, you was out there telling the media everything. You didn't stand in front of that camera and say I don't know. You were actually answering questions. right? How many interviews did you give? 3?
I don't know.
You gave like 3. Do you think that was a proper thing to do when a mother's looking for her child?
They asked me what happened.
And what did you tell them? What did you tell them?
That Lauren was missing.
Okay. What else did you tell them?
That we had gone looking for her.
Okay. And what?
And that we hadn't found her.
And what else did they ask you?
I don't remember.
Why don't you remember?
I don't.
You're telling me that you went through law school. Well, you went through college first, right? Did you graduate from college?
Yes.
And now you're in law school. Did you graduate from law school?
Yes.
But you don't fucking remember what they asked you this afternoon?
No.
Huh? I just don't fucking believe that shit.
Digging into Stephen's past revealed even more disturbing details. Friends recalled that he often spoke about hypothetical murders, especially how to pull one off and get away with it. His online activity showed a fascination with violence and death. He had posted anonymously about torture, gore, and strategies for avoiding detection after a crime.
You have another vehicle.
No, I don't.
So your grandfather's a liar. Is that what you're saying? You're calling your grandfather a liar. I just talked to him. And he said you own another car.
I don't.
Stephen, we're telling way too many lies in here.
So you're telling me they're lying?
You're willing to tell me that you're a virgin and that you told me you jack off to porn on the internet, but you don't want to admit to having another car? That makes me think you got something to hide, Stephen. That concerns me. You tell me things that most people wouldn't tell somebody else, but yet you lie about something simple.
Why are you
about
trying to hide that you have another car? What's the big deal?
I don't have.
I got 3 cars.
You do. You do.
No, I don't.
It's not at your
What
house.
happened to it?
I've never had another car.
That's the only car you ever had in Macon?
Yes.
Okay, let me go talk to him again, because that's not...
You knew that there was blood in that apartment.
No.
Yes, you did, Stephen. Yes, you did. There's blood in your apartment, Stephen. That's right. There's blood in your apartment. Stephen, this is hard, buddy. I know this is hard. And I can tell it's on you. You want to let it go. There's blood in your apartment, Stephen. You didn't get it all up. It didn't all come off. You scrubbed and you wiped. But we can tell that. Don't you wipe CSI?
Throughout the interrogation, Stephen avoided anything that could be used against him. When asked direct questions, he defaulted to phrases like, "I don't know," or "I don't remember."
Because if I hadn't done anything, I'd say, nope, there's no way. But you say you don't know. Why is that? Why do you say you don't know? Is there a chance that maybe something's there?
No.
Why did you say you don't know?
Because I don't know.
Because you're worried about something? Maybe something that happened, that maybe something got mixed up with something and you're worried about that?
No.
Then why do you say I don't know?
Because I don't know.
How would you not know? You know what's crazy? I was talking to people that he works with and everything. They talk about how he's always expresses himself.
But he don't know.
He's very talkative. Stephen, they say you're so talkative, buddy, that you're always so friendly. You stop in and say hello and you talk. Why is it that you're acting so short with us tonight? If you have all this character and personality about you, why is it that everything that we get from you is yes, no, or I don't know?
Some experts later speculated that Stephen might have been planning an insanity defense. The way he spoke about memory loss and confusion seemed rehearsed, as if he was already preparing to claim he was mentally unfit or incapable of remembering the crime. Whether this was part of a deliberate plan or not remains unclear, but his mind, it was obvious, was not in a healthy.
Please tell me. Give me where you, I know earlier today you told me you stayed home all weekend, right? In your apartment.
Yes.
And did anybody see you Did you talk to anybody over the weekend? Were you on your computer all weekend? Is there anything I can look at that I can say he couldn't be involved because he was on the computer, or he was online on a porn site, or he was online doing college work, or anything that would exclude you as being involved altogether? I mean, did anybody see you this weekend at the house? Did you go out to get a newspaper? Did you wave to a neighbor, or you just locked yourself in all week?
Yes.
Nobody saw you?
No.
I mean, what do you just stay in the house all day?
Yes.
I mean, what do you do all day in the house?
Play video games.
By yourself?
Yes.
You never talk to anybody on the phone or anything?
If they call me.
Well, who calls you?
Parents.
I mean, you've always done that your whole life? You don't have no friends? How can you go your whole life without a friend?
I have friends.
Where they at? Where they at? You have any friends here in Macon?
Yes.
Name one, because everybody I talked to said they ain't your friend.
Ryan Granger, Cass Lawson, Ashley Morehouse, Carmen Love.
That's the same people I talked to today, and they're not your friend. Okay? They're not your friend. I mean, it's all over anyways. I just wanted to know what was going on tonight. The game's over. I mean, we know what you did to her, so we just want to know if you were going to tell us or not.
I didn't do anything.
Well, that's what you say. But we know different. So you're fucked either way. You're fucked. We already know. And everybody out there, all your friends know that you're down here because of what happened to Lauren. So all those friends that you thought you had are not your friends anymore. Okay, there'll be no more video games. Alright? Not all. This is the end. Is there anything you want to say?
I didn't do anything.
Well, that's what you say. That's what you say. Stick to your story. Because it's over. We're tired of talking to you. Okay? We know you killed her. We know you put her body in the trash can. Simple as that. The news media knows it. Glenda knows it, your mother. Your sister knows it. Your sister's husband knows it. The one that used to beat your sister, he knows it. You know what he said? He said he's a crazy motherfucker, is what he said when I called him. That's your own family calling you crazy. Your own family said you're crazy. Nobody wants to see you. Nobody's coming to visit you. So you can sit there with that dumb look on your face. But it's over. You enjoyed yourself and it's all over now. Okay? Anything you want to say? I don't know.
I didn't do anything.
Well, that's what you say. But I'm telling you, you did. Okay? Simple as that. You're not in charge, I am. I just took it away from you. That's one thing you can't change, brother. You can't change that. You are no longer in charge of anything. Okay? You understand that? Yeah. Talk to Glenda. She's crying. She's supposed to be coming down here. I told them the whole story. And they told me what you used to tell them about your next door neighbor too. Yeah. What? You can't say nothing now? You're speechless? Hmm? Yeah, she should be here in a little bit. I promised her I'd let her see you and the kids. I don't know if she's bringing them all or not before you go on down. Alright? Okay?
I didn't do anything.
Doesn't matter what you think you did. Doesn't matter, it's what I can prove. Okay? Okay, Mr. Smarty Pants? Promised her I'd let her see you. So I'm waiting on them to get down here. Alright? Okay? I'm taking Glenda's statement about what you used to tell her about your neighbor. About what you used to tell her about your guns and your knives and your sister's husband's coming. Because he said you crazy. Your sister is married still, right?
Yes.
He used to beat her back in the day?
I don't know.
Well, you sit in here and think about it for a little bit, okay?
Okay.
Got plenty of time to think now, don't you? Yeah. Got plenty of time to think. You thought you were smarter than everybody else, but you're not. You're not. The sad thing about it is you probably could have made something with your life. But you chose a different route because, one, you don't have a girlfriend, and two, you're never going to get a girlfriend. I'm listening. I'm all ears.
I don't know what you want me to say.
I want you to say nothing. You're fucked either way. Do you understand that?
I didn't do anything.
That's your side of the story. That's your side of the story. Works both ways, brother. Works both ways. Ain't gonna be no more yelling. Ain't nobody gonna yell at you. They're gonna come in here and cry and kiss you goodbye. I'm gonna take their statement and it's all over. You do understand that, right?
I didn't do anything.
That's what you say. That's what you say. Because you haven't told us anything. Do you realize what I'm telling you? Okay. Well, you sit there and think about it a little bit, okay? I'll come back and check on you. Thought you were smarter than everybody. But you fucked up. You fucked up. Somebody always leaves something in a crime scene. You fucked up. You fucked it up. At first I didn't really believe you had anything to do with it. They said, man, it couldn't have been him. He used to work down the DA's office with us. He's a good guy. He used to help us out. Friendly guy and everything. Couldn't be him. He couldn't have done something like that. Well, we're through talking to you. Just waiting for them to come visit you. Are you through with your little show you've been putting on all day? Huh? Are you through? You're not gonna win. Too much evidence. Too much evidence. Appreciate you talking to me though. Just hang tight. Linda will be down here in a minute.
Eventually, police searched his apartment and found undeniable proof of his obsession with Lauren. They discovered a master key to the entire complex, including a key to Lauren's apartment she never gave him. A flash drive in his possession contained hundreds of photos of Lauren, some clearly taken without her knowledge. Most chilling of all, investigators uncovered a secret video that showed Stephen recording Lauren through her bedroom window. Faced with overwhelming evidence, Stephen confessed. He admitted to using the master key to enter Lauren's apartment, strangling her in her sleep, and then dismembering her body. The murder happened just before Lauren was set to move away, an event that may have triggered Stephen's final violent act. Though he tried to plan the perfect crime, he left behind too many clues. A bloody hacksaw, incriminating digital files, and DNA evidence all tied him to the scene. He was sentenced to life in prison and later faced separate charges related to child exploitation. Stephen McDaniel believed he was smart enough to outwit the system, but in the end, the evidence, the behavior, and the cold indifference gave him away. If you want to watch more of these shocking interrogations, please subscribe to the channel.